Hello, welcome to my first VR. My name is Chloe. I'm a psychic medium, tarot, and astrology guide. This VR is a video reply to Moonflower Moments and their tag first five, last five. Let me just make sure I've got Moonflower Moments. Yes. So I definitely am someone who um, does watch tarot videos on YouTube from time to time, but I have hesitated to film a video response. There's lots of tags that have intrigued me, but it's just, one of those things where, we're not fully comfortable like being observed and, we engage with YouTube, we put ourselves out there, we make these videos because, we want to become more comfortable with that sort of thing. And I mean, I could just be speaking for myself, but that's, definitely why I'm here, why I do this. The first five, last five tag is sharing an invitation to share the first five decks in our collection that we have ever acquired, and the last five decks that we have acquired as well to sort of like take a look at our journey and where we're at now. It's really interesting to consider like how intentional I was initially. Um, I was so called to card reading. I felt compelled to learn tarot. I studied it diligently for 3 months. And then as the symbols started to like lock in, I had this clairvoyant awakening, essentially, a spiritual awakening. And in hindsight, of course, there were definitely signs, other events leading up to that like a big moment for sure, but at the time it was like, wow, tarot has awakened me essentially. um I did a lot of research before I purchased any decks because I knew that this was going to be like a huge thing. It was going to change my life. My guides told me I would need it for my next career, which I was like, what? Like, I'm a successful business jerk. What are you talking about? Right? Um, and then like the last five, it's interesting, like when we're putting this out now, because like I may or may not have been intentional with my last five purchases, right? So that's why I was really intrigued and really pulled to to film my first VR for this tag specifically because it's like sort of like this gotcha moment, like hands in the cookie jar, like what have you been buying? May it be intentional or not? And there's definitely like a lot of purchasing that happens this time of year. Sagittarius shadow is, all about consumption, right? Um, so I wanted to, yeah, kind of call myself out and put myself out there to see like, okay, what really have I purchased recently compared to, initially. So I have decided to film two videos. I'm going to begin here with the first five Oracle decks and the five most recent Oracle decks in my collection. And then I'm going to also share, of course, my first and last five tarot decks. So I have my Oracle decks handy. So let's dive in. Let's see what the first decks that I acquired were. Um, so exciting to take this trip down memory lane, right? So I bought my first Oracle deck in 2019. So it has been about 5 years now since I've been reading, or I guess just over 5 years, depending on the time of year. But anyway, that's like about my timeline. So yeah, I was really drawn to this deck. Obviously, it's no secret that Danielle Noel has a huge fan base. Um, Her art is very well loved, very well received. The box, of course, is horrible. Like, this is definitely not a thing. The deck is by Rebecca Campbell, who it turns out I don't actually resonate with. So I don't have any other Rebecca Campbell decks. It was purely, the artwork that drew me in. It is a 53 card deck, which is does not go without saying. Sometimes you have decks with fewer cards, so that's something that was amazing. And yeah, I worked with this one quite a bit. This was my very first Oracle deck. Um, my moon sign is Pisces, and I gotta say Danielle Noel must be a Pisces or definitely has prominent Pisces placement. Like I don't often guess people's signs, but when I do, I'm accurate, right? So yeah, I love the collage work. It's one of those ones that doesn't like necessarily show up the best on camera because it's like pretty pastel. Um, but yeah, it was very much the artwork that threw me in, and then the keywords or phrases are definitely hit and miss for me. The void, oh, that's a good one. So I didn't end up purchasing any more Rebecca Campbell decks. I was definitely looking at I've looked at them when she had the water one, when she had the stone one, even the rose one, but the cards are just all too similar. And I don't, yeah, resonate with her writing style. So this is my very first Oracle deck. It's called the Starseed Oracle. Of course, I've since learned more about the philosophy of star seeds and the origins in white supremacy. So it's obviously not something that I continue to continue to engage with for that reason, the philosophy of star seeds. Um, but yeah, at the time I was ignorant and I definitely resonate with like celestial type energies. So yeah, that's just basically, where I'm coming from. Yeah, so this is my first Oracle deck ever, the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, artwork by Danielle Noel. And that is published by HayHouse. It is a 53 card deck. So if you can get over the box, which is just ludicrous, you could pick this one up anytime HayHouse does a sale, which is pretty often. Okay, so let's move on. The next deck that I have for my first five oracles is the Mystic Sisters Oracle deck. This was the second Oracle deck that I purchased. Now, this one is by Emily Balivet. Um, Let me see here. The story was interesting. Okay, so it says created out of her inner spiritual journey, encouraging Oracle readers to develop their own personal relationships with the deck, the vibrations of the individual card images, emotional impressions. There's 51 cards. So again, decent size. Mystic Sisterhood of the Goddesses and their mythological archetypes. And she did create this over a period of time. So I would say the only thing is not all of the style of the artwork isn't necessarily 100%. I don't want to say consistent because all artists evolve. But there's yeah, definitely like a few different styles presented in this one. So this is like my first goddess deck, my first archetypal deck, and I have definitely return to it when I'm called to understand a bit more about a certain goddess, about a certain archetype, seeing if she has a card here. So, yeah, these paintings are absolutely beautiful. The card stock is lovely. It's by US Games. US Games has published this one. So, lots of goddesses, lots of archetypes. Yeah, you have different pantheons represented, as is pretty common for an oracle deck or a goddess deck. I love this one, Awakening. This is one of my favorite cards. I should like just be showing my favorite cards, right? And then yeah, here we have like a little bit of a different art style. So it's not to the point where it's like a collaboration deck where I'm like, oh, well, this is jarring. I love this one as well. This is so beautiful. This is one of my favorite cards. But yeah, you have like also then this like some like vintage photograph type. Um, creations here too. The Soma Goddess. So these are the backs. The cardstock is really nice. I love the cardstock on this deck for sure. Yeah, and then here again you have sort of that like a beautiful vintage charms of Ishtar, and then you have like yeah, the style as well with Gaia. So it's not, yeah, not a critique. The Raven Goddess, oh my goodness. Yeah, they're all beautiful. All the different styles that the artist, that the creator has worked with, like, yeah, she's incredibly talented. Matcha, and these are energies that she's worked with on her own journeys. You know that I love when the artist and the creator are the same person, just like, how cohesive that is. So I haven't pulled out this deck in a while. We have Hecate, Urania, but no regrets on this one for sure. It was very much an intentional purchase. Bee Goddess, Oven, Snake Charmer. Yeah, I love this deck. I would definitely recommend it. And I will yeah, some of these decks I have walkthroughs. So if I have a video on it, I'll link it below. I plan on doing some more walkthroughs in the new year as well. And I'll try to find a link for you to purchase as well if you're interested. The Mystic Sisters Oracle deck by Emily Balivet. Okay. So the next two are, yeah, are mass market oracles. Um, Now these ones are ones that I still work with on the regular. So we have the Earth Magic Oracle by Stephen Farmer. I mean, I think it's pretty well known. I don't want to say it's like underrated or a hidden gem. It's not a hidden gem, but it might be underrated. Yeah, you have like the moon phases. So this is, yeah, oracle sized cards. I think it's 48. It's 48. So you have like a nice representation of like, well, yeah, it's earth magic, right? So you have like elemental stuff. You have like a title and one keyword, which I think is brilliant. And then yeah, the artwork is quite nice as well too. And what I love about this one as well is the so beautiful dragonfly emergence. Something I love about this one is you have yeah, like different moons, different seasons, like earth magic, right? Very well thought out. And then you also have like some intense aspects as well too, like lightning power and like storm energy as well too, which is, very much a part of a part of living here on earth. Waterfall effortless. So I still use this one. I was working at a market last month and doing readings, and I definitely this was one of the ones that I was working with. It is timeless. It's got a glossy cardstock, so maybe that's not my favorite, but it's okay in person. Just more difficult on camera, I guess. Volcano volatility. Like we don't even have volatility cards in general, right? Just love that balance. Activation with wind. So great keyword, great title. Yeah, beautiful, well thought out deck by Stephen Farmer. And don't know if it says who the artist is. Let me just take a quick look here. Now, the cover art is by Helena Nelson Reed. I know that they don't always put who the artist is. Yeah, published by HayHouse, designed by Jenny Richards. All artwork is copyrighted by each individual artist and may not be reproduced. So, I mean, that's like a pretty general, vague statement, but yeah, it could be a collaboration. I mean, it could be stock images. Well, this card, Lake Stillness. Tsunami, wake up call. Yes. Yeah, it could just be images that Hay House owns for sure. I don't notice any disconnect as far as like the style. DNA and Karma. There's a card missing, the ancestor card, because I have that on my altar. Okay, so this was the third deck that I acquired, Earth Magic by Stephen Farmer. So the next one I'm going to show you is similar in that I still use it. It's mass market. Again, I want to say like underrated gem, but I think it is probably a popular deck. I assume it's been around for a while. Sacred Destiny Oracle. This one's by Denise Lynn. This one is a 52 card deck. It's also published by HayHouse. And I know that this one is collaborative or stock images because I looked into that when I did the walkthrough. So this one has titles. It doesn't have keywords. I think this was like my first like bordered oracle. Like I know I don't love borders, but sometimes it frames the artwork nicely. So this one again I love because it has the balance of shadow and light. It's very much like, nature based as well. The art style is definitely different. This one is not glossy. It is matte, so the tactile experience is definitely more pleasant. Yeah, I use this one when reading at psychic fairs and at markets as well. It pairs with pretty much anything, everything. Success is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I love like the richness and the versatility of this image. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one still. It's timeless, no regrets. I love the reflection of like how intentional I was with my first purchases. It's more like the recent ones that I'm gonna be like, I mean, it's not cringe. It's just like, yeah, if we could keep that intentionality going, and like also that this is a snapshot. Like, what if I do this tag in 2 months, right? Then or 6 months or 2 years, it would be, totally different. Most recent, five most recent. So I have, okay, one, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Okay, I already have four. So I have one more to go. I do have a couple of honorable mentions. The okay, so there's the Landback Tarot and Oracle of Colonization. So this is a honorable mention because it is a tarot and it's an oracle. So I'm going to mention it in both, but it's going to be like an extra entry. Um, yeah, I purchased it primarily as a tarot deck, but then the creator, Aunty K, make sure that you follow them on Instagram and on YouTube and support their projects. Um, yeah, I got it as a tarot, but there's Oracle as well. So everything behind this, I got it on Kickstarter. So it would have been like my first indie Oracle deck. It was just really important for me to support the project. I had been following them, and I very much wanted to see this project come to fruition. I haven't ended up working with it too much because now the card stock is like amazing, beautiful linen. The tactile experience is lovely. She has the tree bark as the backing, which is pretty cool. But the size for me, the size of the deck, the tarot and the oracle together, combined with like the slipperiness, and then just the fact that like I don't use oracle cards as much as tarot, and I think the size is a big part of it. So I haven't used it as much as as I intended to. It remains like a collector's item for me, and yeah, just important for me to yeah, to support this project, right? So it is Rider-Waite-Smith based in a way, but it is, definitely reimagined through that lens. This is the Hierophant card. So I'll just share in the author's own words. The Landback Tarot and Oracle of Colonization is indigenous, brown, and gender neutral. This deck presents the classic RWS understandings from a radical decolonial perspective, looking towards indigenous futures of autonomy, freedom, and land back. The Fool's Journey is decolonial, laying out realities and lives for marginalized and colonized readers and queerants. The Oracle of Colonization looks at the shadows, adding that extra needed healing for our lives under colonialism. Together, this deck is for everyone looking for an anti-colonial decentering of realities. Now, this creator, Aunty K, has a few decks out now. They have this, I think this was the first one, and they've continued on that journey. I believe there's a Marseille as well. I think maybe they have at least three decks now. So definitely, check out their website and support their work. Um, they are the artist and the author. So again, you have that beautiful cohesion of the meanings and the art and the artwork. Yeah, this one, as I said, it's really big. So that's probably why I haven't, worked with it as much as I expected that I would. But it was, yeah, imperative for me to, yeah, to support the project. I'll be sure to do a walkthrough on this if I haven't already. So this is the Landback Tarot and Oracle of Colonization by Aunty K. Yeah, I just remember during the project, like everything was so well thought out. Um, it came in this tuck box, natural recycled paper for sustainability, and it has a full guidebook. I have read it cover to cover. Everything is so intentionally done with this one. And the other honorable mention I have is it's another indie deck. This is the interesting box, very cool box for sure. Um, I think it is Canadian as well from the West Coast. It's called The Knowing, and this one is by Ciel Grove or Seal Grove. So this one is not one that I purchased, but it is a gift that was a deck that was gifted to me from a friend. So the cardstock is very high quality. Um, theknowing.ca, that's the website if you want to take a look. Let me see how many cards it is. Yeah, definitely independently published. So this one has, you can anticipate from the backs, the design is very simple. So you have like a plant and an animal on each card, moose and dandelion. So those are to be read together. Snake and chickweed. So it's not something that I have been, owl and hawthorn. It's not something that I've been able to read with intuitively necessarily. When I have worked with it, I've been working with the guidebook in conjunction. And it has been a very powerful oracle for sure. But for me, I haven't studied enough to be able to use it fully intuitively without the guidebook. Spider and wormwood. So yeah, the colors are very neutral. The artwork is beautiful. Hummingbird and tiger lily. And I would imagine that, it definitely pairs well with everything. And yeah, love the box, right? Okay. So I had the two honorable mentions because I received this as a gift. And then the land back, of course, is both an oracle and a tarot. It's that many cards. So the fifth and final deck I'm going to talk about today, the fifth deck that I acquired is the Sibyl's Oraculum. This is amazing. This deck goes so deep. It is by Tayana McQuiller. I have a walkthrough on this for sure, so you can definitely check it out. Um, yeah, it's its own system. It definitely is for inner work for sure. It is incredibly intense. It's incredibly deep. It's not like a love and light oracle, which I love. I mean, in a way, you can already see my growth, right? Like, um, yeah, so it is its own system, which you have to, spend a little bit of time learning. But it's from Destiny Books. So it's like one of those ones where you put like the cards in the envelope. But yeah, the guidebook is substantial. It's amazing. It gives you instructions, how to do everything, and then you're pulling one card basically um, from each category. So like every card pull is like as a spread, like you're following a formula, which I love. So I keep the cards in this little pouch. So you have, yeah, like I said, you pull one card from each section. So that's the backs. And then I have them in the envelope. Just so they're like separate in their own categories. So the backs have different colors, but it's the same imagery. And let me see here. Yeah, the style is very old world, like this mosaic, very natural tones. I recommend watching the walkthrough if you're interested in this one. But I believe the creator is like an anthropologist or something like that. Um, I also have she's done the Hoodoo Tarot and maybe some other projects as well. But yeah, definitely recommend. Okay, let's put those back there. Okay. So yeah, that's my first five and my last five Oracle deck purchases. Thank you so much for watching. Um, yeah, I guess it's not like as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be. Oh, that's just the first five. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Um, so that's my first five decks. Let me grab the most recent purchases and we'll continue. Okay. Wow. Wow. Hilarious. I'm like, that's not so bad. And then, well, here we are. I had only done the first five. Okay, that was a fun trip. Fun trip down memory lane for sure. Yeah, interesting. Like, the path we followed, right? Okay. So for my most recent five Oracle deck acquisitions, I have one honorable mention, which is the Rana George Lenormand. Um, I don't know. I thought maybe this needs to be in a category by itself. I only have two Lenormand decks. This one's obviously the most beautiful. It's yeah, definitely, hands down one of the better ones, as they say. So the box is, like this, and then you have the guidebook, and then the cards, you have them inset like that. So this one had been on my list for a while, and yeah, last month I did travel to Morocco, so I was looking for something that was like had that sort of like Middle Eastern, North African vibe to it. Here's the backs. So I didn't actually end up working with it yet. I've studied Lenormand on several different occasions, but I've never made it all the way through the system, which is like pretty bad because it's not even like um that there's not even that many cards, right? This one doesn't have the words on it, so it is considered a bit more advanced. But yeah, I mean, it is the most beautiful Lenormand deck for sure. So I was like, planning for my trip and getting ready, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll want to like study this while I'm there, pull some cards while I'm there. And of course, I was just out and about doing my thing. And I didn't end up doing a lot of too much reading while I was away, so it is still waiting to be explored. But this is one of my more recent deck purchases, and yeah, I figure it's a special mention because Lenormand is, of course, its own system. In a way, all oracles, I guess, are kind of unique like that, but yeah, I just figured it's kind of like a special mention. So one of my other recent decks I picked up secondhand. It's the Lantern Oracle. I got this one for shadow work. Oh, let me say the Rana George Lenormand is artwork by Callie L. French, and the writer is Rana George, and it's by U.S. Games as the publisher. So the Lantern Oracle is illustrated by Yuli Alejo, and it's written by Angelina Marabito, PhD. This one's Blue Angel. So it's got pretty nice cardstock, but then also huge. And it's the thing where like the book is just a little bit bigger than the cards. So I don't know. I would like the box to be the same size as the cards, and then they make the book just a little bit thicker. But this is how Blue Angel does it. They have, um, as I'm sure the book is just a bit bigger than the cards, and then of course the box fits the book. So I have been working with this one. I haven't used it too much yet. With the newer decks, like, it's like, are they even my most used decks of this year? No. No, they're not. I'll probably do a video of the decks that I use the most in 2024. I think that would be interesting because yeah, some of them are I acquired this year, or like one of them that comes to mind I acquired this year, but also yeah, older decks reappearing as well too. So this one has like the different feminine aspects. The reason I got this one was for shadow work. Um, I used it at the market, but not too much. I have pulled some cards for other people and for clients with this one as well too, but it's specific in that they want to do shadow work. So yeah, let me just give you the rundown here. So it is 44 cards. Embark on a beautiful soul nurturing journey with the ever present and loving light of the eternal feminine wisdom as your guide. Great, right? Ask a question and connect with the maidens, mothers, guardians, and crones of this profound and powerful deck for clarity, growth, assistance, and healing. Use this deck to draw lessons, solutions, and insight from the shadows and be empowered to walk in truth and shine your light in the world. The 44 card deck features key phrases for immediate answers, and the guidebook offers further meanings so you can integrate a deeper understanding of the messages. With guidance for every stage and phase of life, the Lantern Oracle is a go-to guide for tapping into the supportive, caring, honest, timeless divinity of sisterhood. So, yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on it yet because I haven't worked with it too much. Yeah, the artwork is beautiful. I have done a couple of readings and they have resonated, so I can, recommend it in that regard. Again, the cards are really big, so I'm never going to reach for it like I would reach for a tarot deck because that's, just how we found my personal preference to be. But I still buy oracle cards. I prefer tarot, but I still buy oracle cards. I always think it's going to be nice to have a clarifier, or a different perspective outside, from outside the tarot system, right? Um, with this one having the different like aspects as well, I feel like, there is good, I mean, the gender, there's no gender diversity, but there is some age diversity as well, which is something like I'm really looking for. In this phase of my life for sure. I'm looking for body diversity, I'm looking for age diversity. Um, Truth be told, masculine representation still isn't something that is extremely important for me. But that is, I mean, obviously the direction we're moving in is like inclusivity, we're not going to exclude one group of people when we're talking about inclusivity. Um, but yeah, it's interesting how we definitely have more racial diversity now with decks. We have more body diversity, age diversity. But yeah, there's still not too much masculine representation. Um, still room to improve in that area. And it could be too that I just don't see that because it's not something that that I'm looking for. Okay, so this one is The Lantern Oracle. It's by Blue Angel, written by Angelina Marabito, illustrated by Yuli Alejo. And I had this one on my list for a while, but I saw it on sale secondhand, so that's why I picked it up. Okay, so let's move on. The next deck that I'm going to show you a recent purchase was the Alchemical Oracle. Um, Again, I got this on sale secondhand, probably at the same time. I keep it in this pouch. There's big energy with this deck, so I feel like it needs to be like in a dark bag. I don't remember who the author and illustrator are because like the guidebook is this weird like short and long. So it's still like portrait shaped, but they made it sideways. So like they could have had the binding on the proper side and it be like a proper book, um, shaped like this, but they published it like this. So fuck that. It's not user friendly at all. So even though it's its own system, I haven't gotten too much into the guidebook yet. I read the first part, but I haven't done any readings where I've checked the guidebook. I've just been, working with it intuitively. Um, yeah, so I love the artwork. You basically, I think you pick like a category, from one of these cards, mental, emotional, power, love, um, physical. It's glossy, it's big. The cards are kind of thin, but yeah, I've worked with one and it's not bad. Like it shuffles and everything. It's still a bit thick. It's shuffled, it's still a bit stiff because it's newer, but there's like almost 100 cards in here or something. So hell yeah. Yeah, there's card 77. I don't have the book or box, so I can't tell you. Yeah, there's card 87, so definitely getting up in the 80s. This is how thick it is. They made the cardstock thinner, glossier, so it's still thick, but yeah, you're getting a lot of cards in there. And then you have yeah, the different elements. So there's a bunch of water cards, a bunch of spring cards, a bunch of star cards. I absolutely love the artwork. Fire, wildfire, and star. So you have, yeah, these different categories, and then they all have three keywords on them that fit into like these different pillars and columns. So yeah, there's the land cards, the mountain cards, the sun cards. There is the land cards, the flower cards, the earth cards. So you see the same words again and again, um, in different like triple combinations, sky, lightning, earth. So I love all of that. Nature, magic, elements, and yeah, I think the artist has done a really nice job with the artwork. Fire, volcano, moon, water, waterfall, earth. I want to do a walkthrough of this one at a certain point, so watch out for that. Fire, wildfire, and moon. Like this might be, you know, one of the most beautiful decks I've ever seen, to be honest. I love this art style. So this is the alchemy, what's it called? Alchemical. The alchemical oracle. So next up, I have the Naked Truth. This is an indie deck. The creators from New Zealand. Their business is called Hold My Pencil, I think is what it is. I keep it in this nice little Moroccan pouch. Um, the creator has made it more sustainable and more affordable not to have a guidebook or a box. You can get the guidebook online, of course, you can download that. And then I purchased the expansion pack as well. So these are the backs. There's a cover card, the Naked Truth Oracle. The silhouette on the back is probably like the least diverse when it comes to body type from the whole deck, so it's like kind of an interesting pick. But yeah, I'm not like super picky about, you know, when it comes to card backs or whatever. Yeah, so you have like I said, I have the expansion pack as well. So it's like hand drawn in this way. Rage. That's a good card. That's a good card. Champion. So there are yeah, there is masculine representation in the deck. And you have, yeah, the age diversity, racial diversity, body type diversity. There is artistic nudity, so if that's an issue for you, you probably won't be seeking out this deck. Um, yeah, so just like how the format goes is you have some keywords just around the side there. I'm not sure if you can see. Let's try to get in there. Um, yeah, so like for the Mourn card, it says full stop conclusion. So you have the title, some helpful keywords, full stop and conclusion, and then there's a potion, console and grieve. So title, keywords, and like action, which they called potion. So I really, yeah, really appreciate the format for this one. Yeah, it is, I believe, independently published. I purchased this through her Etsy store, and yeah, it was great. She has very affordable shipping because she just sends it by regular like you know, New Zealand post. and split it into a few different envelopes for me so that the shipping was extremely affordable. Yeah, I like that way of doing it for sure. Um, a lot of times when I see decks through a place like Etsy, the shipping is as much as the deck, and I don't want to be like, I'm not supporting independent creators, and like that deck isn't worth it, and it is, but when you consider the not only the exchange rate to bring it into the country, and then you also have like, yeah, the shipping, which is like almost as much as the deck. So it can be hard to justify at times. So well, I didn't get it within 2 to 3 business days. I did get it within a couple of weeks of ordering it, like international post would be. So I love, yeah, love that creative solution by the author. Defiant. So the keywords for Defiant are mirror, self-reflection, self-awareness, shield, and deflect. Often they'll have like a plant tattoo and information about the plant, which is like really, really special as well. And then the potion on this one is immobile, cement, immobile. That's the potion for Defiant. No, no. The Naked Truth Oracle deck by um, is it Hand Me My Pencil or Hold My Pencil? It might be Hand Me My Pencil. I will check. I will check and I will put it in the notes. So you have the right information there. Okay, moving right along. We only have only 2 decks left for my most recent oracles. So I purchased the soul cards locally. I was in a metaphysical bookstore. I was feeling the vibe. This is one of the ones, of course, that I have looked at many times, and I just felt called to go ahead and pick it up. Yeah, the box is pretty stupid. It's a frame. It's so you can you can have your card of the day. And you put it up in the frame and then you can like look at it. So it's not the concept. I just, have never used it for that. So I'm like, can't we streamline this packaging? Um, so then, yeah, this is the box, and then you have like the cards, pretty normal size cards, in this like inset thing as well too. Um, this is how it opens. So I'm not a huge fan like of that. And then it's like an envelope or whatever. So, packaging aside, this deck is a classic. It's by Deborah Koft Chapin. Deborah Koff Chapin, soulcards.com. There's a companion text, Soul Cards 2, which you can use in conjunction. And how many does it say? 60. 60 evocative images. So this one's famous for, like, there's instructions on how to use them, like alone or in a group or whatever. But this one's famous for having like no meanings, no keywords, you can read it any direction type of thing. Um, I have got some pretty good information from working with this deck for sure. I picked it up, I want to say in the summertime. It's nearly Christmas time, solstice. So I've been purchased a lot of Oracle decks in the last few months. But I did get this one this summer, so I've had a chance to work with it. And yeah, it has been good. I would say like this is worth considering if it's been on your list for a while. Um, you can't check the book. There's no keywords. You have to rely solely on your intuition. And the instructions do suggest to sit with it for a while. So that alone, I mean, is a good practice. Like what we can learn from using soul cards, like actually sit with it for a while. To see what feelings you get, to see what messages you get. Like that is great advice for card reading in general. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of um well, I'm not sure how to describe the style of the artwork. I believe they're her own paintings, like so it's the same creator, writer and artist, but I guess like there's nothing written, so it would just be just be artists. But yeah, it would be cool to see like a modern rendition, something done in a similar style, not necessarily the same artwork, but something else that's done that's like no guidebook, no keywords. And I mean, hey, there probably is stuff like that out there. I'm just not aware. I love the concept. I thought I would get both. But this is already 60 cards, so I'm not feeling called at this point to get soul cards too. But when I got it, I'm like, I'm definitely gonna get the expansion, like 120 cards, yeah. But there's plenty in the first edition, and you can like, yeah, look at it from different ways as well. So this is Soul Cards, aka Soul Cards One, by Deborah Koff Chapin. Deborah Koff Chapin. All right, so we got one more, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah, definitely went on a little bit longer than I thought. We'll see how I go with the tarot version. Um, yes. Okay. So the last deck I got, the most recent Oracle deck I purchased. This one was on my list for a while, so I picked it up because I saw it on sale. It's by Marcella Kroll or Marcella Kroll. Marcella, probably. And it's called Sacred Symbols for Divination and Meditation Oracle Deck. So I've looked at this a few times. I did feel like I wanted to wait till I could see it on sale. So I love the box. This is the box. It's the same size as the cards, and it's like, yeah, nice and sturdy, red, intense. Love that. And then of course it's got like a little guidebook that's the same size as the box. Looking at you, Blue Angel. And then, yeah, the artwork is like these line drawings, so it's really simple. You have, is it 30, 50 cards? Excuse me, a 50 card deck. So the card stock is slim. Um, it is thin card stock. So you have like Divinity, Grounded, Air, Talisman. I haven't had this one for too long, so I'm not sure how it reads. It's not like my typical style, but again, like I don't know, it's one I wanted to have in my collection, right? Love the backs. I think she has this creator has a few decks. I believe she's like an author, professional reader, does podcast, I think, as well too. Nature Spirit. Yeah, so not too much to share on this one because I haven't really worked with it yet. I've only pulled a few cards. Um, the Sacred Symbols for Divination and Meditation Oracle deck. So that's my yeah, that's my most recent Oracle decks. I had so much fun doing this video. I'm so excited to potentially do more VRs. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the tarot video. First five, last five. Bye.